Trey Williams. It's always a pleasure to meet with you, chat with you, and to encourage you. Listen, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and follow us on YouTube, Quantum Talks 8.0, Facebook, Quantum Talks 8.0, Instagram, Quantum Talks 8.0. Today in our rep sessions with Dr. Kiki, I'm going to talk about sometimes separation. Separation, okay? So these series, you'll see them from time to time, and it's just a conversation piece. Sometimes it's something that someone has reached out about, asked me to chat about, so on and so forth. So I wanted to share with you that sometimes separation is necessary. Now, as a person of faith, I am not speaking of separation within your marital relationships. I'm not speaking of those covenant bonds that most people find themselves in. Instead, today I am speaking about sometimes as you move in your calling, your journey, your next, as your life begins to evolve, as you begin to take steps to be the person that you have really sought your creator to be, and you've been getting messages about it, you've been thinking about it, people have been giving you all kinds of clues. Some people say the atmosphere has been sending me a signal. However you believe that you are stepping into new dimension and new territory, a lot of times we don't spend enough time understanding what that process entails. You will have to pull away from, step away from, be detached from people who do not think in terms of your success. People who've never experienced where you're trying to go. How are you taking advice from people who've never built a house? They've never built a house. They don't have an architectural plan. They've never had any builder's licenses, or they've never had an interest. There's no proof of their advice in their own life. And sometimes we are so carefully catapult. It might seem like it took you 10 years to get there. Others, it might seem like it was overnight. But however you get there and when you get there is divine timing. And being catapult, no matter how quickly or how slowly you think it happens, it's a process. Sometimes we don't realize that, wow, you're in this new space and there are people around you who don't necessarily align with that new space. And that's not to say you're going to be just dropping people and, kicking people to the curb. But at a time as you grow, as you move to who you're supposed to be, and you decide, you know what, I'm approaching 30. Or I'm approaching 30, or 35, 40, I'm approaching 90, whatever it is, I want to do these things for myself. There will be people who will not be able to understand or to grasp where your next is. They only remember you from the little snotty-nosed kid who could never, get anybody to pick them on the team. They don't see you in the respect of who you are now. And that's okay. It's not your job to convince them to see you differently. It is your job to make sure you are aligning yourself with people who can place value with where you are and where you're headed. Sometimes we think of, oh, wow, this person done moved up, and wow, once things start happening, wow, they changed your name, they changed your address, they changed your phone number, they're acting funny, they're acting different. There are things that happen in between the quote-unquote time of success and not, that people are not aware of. People will show you reasons why they can't come to your next with you. So maybe we're not growing and we keep repeating these same old patterns, and we're stuck in these same scenarios over and over again because of our environment. Maybe there are people who are praying for the downfall instead of the uprising. Maybe we're hearing negativity nonstop about what you can't do. You ain't this. You won't. And not enough of, hey, give it a try. Wow. Well, keep going. Maybe people are one way in your surroundings and they are totally a different way behind your back. So there's sometimes things that you don't know that happens that positions you to be able to move forward without that same circle, okay? I'll never forget many moons ago, my freshman year in college, and we were sitting in orientation, freshman orientation, outside Clark Atlanta University, and it was just seemingly thousands of us brand new freshmen. And I'll never forget, once they had done their speeches and people chatted and talked and so on and so forth, there was one profound portion of that day that I will never forget. They told us, stand up. You know, we had to sing, we had to stand up, look around, talk. They told us several things, but this one time, they said, look to your left. So we looked to the left. Look to your right. Look to the right. And said, one of you won't be here next semester. And all of the, oh my God, we made it. Oh, you know, all the, oh, wow, we're doing this kind of subsided. And I remember looking from one side to the next side again. And I told them, I said, well, hey, I'm going to be here next semester. I don't even know what he's talking about. I don't know what that means. I'm going to be here next semester. The truth of the matter is, the enrollment decreased very, very noticeably. In fact, that statement was true. Now, did he have a looking glass, or did he speak a word curse over everybody, or did he go by statistics? I don't know. But I knew that that proclamation did not line up for why I was here. Like, I didn't know what college had in store for me, but I knew I was not going back to the naysayers that I left at home saying, you ain't gonna be nobody. Your parents might as well get ready. You're gonna be back home next semester pregnant. You ain't getting no college degree. You know, you don't have what it takes to be away from home. You've been too sheltered. Oh, I heard it all. But these same people were skinning and grinning in my parents' face, and when we were all together, it was, you know. I knew I had something that I had to accomplish for me. And a part of that included being able to say, even if I never said it to those naysayers, I said it within myself, you're going to get what you came here for. And so while there were people who were not there the next semester, we don't know what happened to them. I mean, it's almost like life happened. And as people matriculated, you know, certain scenarios came up. Everybody's, you know, situation is different. But then there was a handful of us or so who stayed. And at times it'd be like, oh, wow, you remember so-and-so? Oh, what happened to so-and-so? So whether they finished their credentials somewhere else or not is on them. My point in bringing this up is everybody can't go with you to your next. You're leveling up. If it means that you are opening up a whole new book and you're writing every single line on your own of the story of your life, go for it. Do it. If it means you're going back to existing chapters of a different book and rewriting certain chapters, do it. It is never too late to do what you need to do for you. It is never too late to accomplish what you must accomplish for you. Somebody's depending on you. I'm depending on you. Pull through, push through, get up. Some people say, oh, wow, it's been such a long time since I did X, Y, and Z. Great. That's exactly what should motivate you. Let me not try to run the 100-meter race that I used to run. Let me start off by just walking, 5 minutes a day. I got to start somewhere so that I can get to where I need to be. And a lot of times you think you're struggling and going through something when really, truly, our God who I worship is separating the wheat from the tare. Let's just be honest. You have something that the Creator has placed especially there for you. And you cannot leave this planet. You cannot leave this earth. You can ignore it, put it on the back burners, do whatever you feel like you need to do. But it's going to come full circles where you have to do what the Creator God has gifted you, planted you, and purposed you to do. So in the meantime, when we really, 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 really get it in our heart, and do it as the Bible say, I promise you, you're going to see so many amazing things happening. There's going to be a cutting away. Everybody who seems like they're on your team, they're not on your team. Everybody hoping that you are not for you. It's okay. That's not your concern. Your concern is completing the assignments with several S's. Everything that God has gifted you to do, you must see it to the next step. And each step, think of it as many assignments. Think of it as one piece of the puzzle, one part of the project. And once you finish that, you got something else to do. You have something else to do. And you got to keep going because then there's going to be more to do. And by the time you look up and look back, you're going to see the purpose for that struggle. You're going to see the results of that success. And that means you're going to have to put your destiny, your goals, your dreams, your visions, the things that God has purposed for you, you've got to put that first. Everybody and everything else, they'll be there. Even the naysayers, those that are hoping that you don't do nothing or be nothing. And while every single day I am still on this wonderful journey, I will tell you the times when I have been at my lowest, when things seemed like they were going the worst, when life was lifing, I promise you, when the smoke cleared and that thing lifted and the clouds rolled away, I saw the manifestation of God's purpose. And sometimes that looks like people just out of the blue messaging you, hey, we can't chat anymore, bye. Who knows? Or it could be the call or the big break you're waiting for. Or you can start to finally see yourself the way the Creator sees you. So sometimes there's a pulling away, there's a divide, there's a disconnect, there's a separation. As long as you don't disconnect from our Creator, as long as you don't disconnect from our Savior, His purpose, His plan, the direction for your life, that's all that matters. So my friends, be lifted, be encouraged. I don't care who it is or what it is. Don't have a heaven or hell to put us in. Okay? So you might as well be fabulously you, whatever that is. Okay? People are not always going to give you the quote unquote blessing. As long as God continues to give you breath and direction, and He blesses what He's telling you to do it. Okay? I think so many times about Noah, okay? And the Lord said, oh, it's going to rain, it's going to rain. And he's out there telling people, come on. Building a ship in the middle of what doesn't seem like they get any rain, okay? Building a ship, trying to compel them, come on, it's going to rain. The Lord showed me. And they're looking and laughing and like, okay, he's at it again. People will, out of nothing personal to you, not see the vision. They're not buying into what you're talking about. They don't want what you got. Who cares? Be committed to hearing the voice of God and following that directive. Because just like Noah looked like a complete idiot to humans, he did. He probably felt like most of us would have voiced a long time ago, God, was this really it? Right? And he also had to deal with being scorned amongst his peers. Who knows the gamut of what following the directive on his life meant to him in that space. But I will tell you, it finally rained. And following the directives of our God, he was able to bring 2 by 2 of the animals, and his family and those who would have been saved had they listened could have been there as well, but they didn't. It doesn't change the directive, the plan of God. And so for us, it might seem like your dream is laughable. Okay? What are you doing now? Oh, you're trying. I don't see nothing funny. It's okay. Let them laugh. Let them discount you. Let them tell you, child, you better stick to cleaning. Okay? You might say, oh, I want to be X, Y, and Z. Child, you better stick to, they'll give you something basic to do. Child, you better stick, whatever it is you do. That's their limitation. That doesn't have to be your limitation. Why are we so busy putting the esteemed opinions of others over sometimes that still small voice? It could just be a one-word sentence. Sometimes God will just say yes. Sometimes God will just say no. Sometimes God will just say go. However God deals with you, don't take that for granted. And when the story is told, it's going to be so magnificent. It's going to be so wonderful. It's going to be so beyond limits when you do it God's way. And let people remember you from, falling down in the banks of snow and not being picked for the physical education team and always the kid with boogers in their ears and let them remember you in that respect if they choose. But as you continue to grow in grace, write your story. Write the vision that God gave you. Make it plain. We can go to God at any time for anything. Lord, is this what you have me to do? Lord, am I in the right vein of what I'm supposed to be? What are you trying for? Get clarity and direction from God. And do it until God blesses it. Do it once he blesses it. Once he levels it up and he makes it amazing. Just keep going. Stay humble. Have your feet planted in the directives of God. At a point, everybody should be trying to pursue something in life. But some people, all they do is pursue those who are trying to do something with negativity and fault finding. That doesn't have to be your lot in life. So, my friends, stay encouraged. Do something every day towards your purpose and your plan. Work what God gave you. All of us can't be bakeries. All of us can't have a bakery. Okay? Somebody's got to be able to produce the flour. Somebody's got to be able to produce some of the household items that go into baking. Some of us got to be into the marketing of that bakery. Okay? So, and I don't understand how people, all of a sudden, they have their whole hands full with something else, and now they see, oh, they're opening a bakery. I want to open a bakery too. And then they go and try to get a bakery. Instead of complimenting the business, what else do you all need? Okay? We might need an international connection. Okay? Y'all work on building the international piece, so once we get this bakery together, y'all can help us to go global. We need to be able to have those conversations and stop looking at everybody else's efforts as competition. It's so sad. It's sad. Because in your mind, you might be just trying to do something to raise the standard of living for the people around you or for the community. And other people feel like, oh, you think you're all of that. Oh, you better than everybody. Be about your Father's business, your Heavenly Father's business. And it doesn't matter what people say, because let me tell you something. Like our friend Noah in the Bible, when it started to rain, he didn't look so crazy then. When that first speck of seeming like mist began to fall, I'm just saying because I wasn't there, I'm sure people could hear Noah's voice over and over again. I'm sure they can remember him beating and hammering and all the work that went into building the ark. Maybe somebody walked by or was driving by or was commuting by and saw him lining up animals, laughed themselves on down the street. But when it started to rain, I'm sure their memories went back to, oh my God, that guy, Noah, who whatever they called him, the ark guy was right. May God continue to shock the naysayers. May God continue to elevate the gifts in your life. May God continue to embrace you with power from on high. May God continue to strengthen you and give you grace through the journey. May God do it God's way. I'm Dr. Kiki Williams, and it is always a pleasure to share with you. Separation is good. Don't feel left out and lonely and all that. Use that time to work the plan of God. When I've done everything that God has gifted me to do or told me to do in this season, go back to God. Okay, God, I did all this. Now what? Work and don't you stop. And I will say this. We can't be so busy gathering things and trying to make a living that we forget to actually live. That means proper rest. That means enough water. Okay, whatever brand you drink, water. That means proper food choices. How many fruits and vegetables and organic things are we eating? Exercise. How much are we putting towards building up our inner man and our external man? Okay? So we got to be able to do both. I can't be defiling my temple, but then talking about, oh, I love the Lord. How am I defiling my temple and I'm not taking care of it? Separation. Fasting is your friend. Fast to get the strength, the help, the goals, the vision, everything that you need. And when you do, remember, because God gonna answer. He's gonna answer. Remember to give all praise and glory and honor to God. Remember that if it had not been for the Lord on our side, where would we be? So if you need help, you need to talk, you need help with your taxes, certain business ventures that you are endeavoring to do, reach out. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't have to spend time trying to convince people of what it is that I do or that we do or have done. Those that we have helped are thriving. And a lot of times people come, and I'm noticing this, people come to get help, but it's only to try to figure out what you do so they can go and do what you do. So with that being stated, if you have a serious inquiry and a concern or something you want to bring to life, or you dealing with life and want to talk, reach out, Quantum Talks 8.0. We will help to coach you to the finish line. Okay? So call, reach out, email, look on our website, book a time, and we can take care of the rest. Okay? You are amazing, and I sincerely want to let you know I appreciate each and every last one of you. I am cheering you on to the finish line.